Hi, my name is Kai Armstrong, and I'm the Senior Product Manager of Code Review, and I'm joined today by Pedro Moreira da Silva, Staff Product Designer for Code Review, and we're here to talk about the future of attention requests. So we've made this decision to not launch attention requests feature at GitLab, and while there were many positive experiences, improvements, and lessons learned, there were just too many outstanding concerns we did not feel we could appropriately address while still maintaining the bar of usability we have for ourselves in this area of the product. First, thank you to everyone who contributed in both inspiration, creation, and feedback during this process. We'll dive into this a little bit more. We're going to cover a few things here. And let's start with the first one, which is a thanks to everyone. And I just want to make sure that we're very clear on this. I want to pass along my thanks to everyone who was part of the process of attention requests. This is a journey that started over a year ago with initial discussions on the team and moved to research and design efforts. Special thanks to Sunjung Park, who joined us and originally championed the design of this effort. And I also want to specifically thank Phil Hughes for his contributions to this work, going above and beyond to work on all sides of the product, while much of the other engineering teams focused on other important efforts for code review. Thank you to all the other engineers who supported Phil and lent a hand as well. Thank you to our community and the wider GitLab team who provided feedback after we launched the feature. And especially thank you to the Gitaly team who agreed to continue dog booting and providing feedback on the feature. Finally, thank you to Annabelle Gray and Pedro for their honest feedback and clear vision throughout the process. None of the work we do is possible without all of you involved, and everything we do is a learning experience that continues to push us forward.
So now I'll talk a little bit about why we're not shipping attention requests. So first, let's talk about foundational issues. While there were several problems with attention requests once it was integrated into the product, there were two main foundational issues that we didn't feel we could iterate through appropriately. The first main issue has to do with notifications and the way to-dos work in the product, the to-dos feature. The addition of attention requests emphasized a problem with many similar notifications as it introduced yet another notification in that area. And these notifications led to user confusion and even duplication in the product, as attention requests had their own special section, as well as showing up in the to-dos area. We missed the mark on looking at the complete notifications experience. The other main issue is that attention requests were not well integrated into the existing review handover moments. While in the initial setting of an attention request happened automatically, other actions were manual or hard to understand for users. We also introduced attention requests without having other pieces of a complete review flow in place, like enhancements to our batch comments feature. And that would have allowed us to make use of the feature much more clear and effortless. The sequence in which we deliver value matters in how we grow users into our features and get the best adoption. Then the little things. There were also many little things that didn't work quite right when we looked at attention requests in the larger context of the merge requests and review flow. And some of them are listed here, and we believe that we would have been able to iterate through some of these items, but still they highlight how challenging it is to get all of this right and the gaps that existed even in the very limited run of the feature being turned on. What have we learned then? To start, the most important thing to remember is that not shipping attention requests does not mean we failed in some way, or that we should be discouraged about the work we did. We designed, researched, built, and got feedback. And we'll repeat that cycle to make the best things for users. This is iteration. Some specific things we'll continue to be mindful of to help improve our process is how important it is to see the complete picture and user journey when we're looking at new ideas. Sometimes testing or designing only small pieces feels like the most iterative step. But if we don't look at the whole picture, we can miss how all of these steps fit together. For example, the collision of attention request notifications and to-dos are a perfect example of this. It's also important to think about the order of iterations that we deliver to our users. We shipped batch comments quite a while ago, but then didn't follow up to complete that flow of the review process. This makes other features that try to work with that feel disjointed because we're skipping around the process and not following through on a complete vision for our users. And finally, sometimes we're just too close to what we're building. For large projects like this one, we may have worked on them for many months. And so we know how we expect them to work and assume our users have as much institutional knowledge about our process works as we do. This can create blind spots and confusion for users in things that otherwise seem completely normal and expected to us.
With that in mind, let's talk a little bit about what's next. So in the two areas where attention requests fell short, we think there are some opportunities to continue to make improvements to the experience without introducing something as radically different as attention request. These two areas are improvements to the existing to-dos area and working on a more complete end-to-end review experience. These areas are early in our thinking, but places we think we can make progress. For to-dos, we'd like to look at small improvements we can make to the existing experience without rethinking them completely. Things like grouping similar notifications or being smarter about deduplicating similar events in the merge request, such as assign, approve, and mentioning all happening at once. We also want to take a look at the end-to-end review experience, where attention requests fell short is that they weren't well integrated into existing behavior. Separate UI controls, quick actions for assignment, some automatic behavior. And making sure we address the complete review flow allows us to be more deliberate about how we integrate these types of features. We've also got quite a bit ongoing in code review, so this is a good time to reflect on what's important and what we need to keep working on. It's important to understand when we might be able to return and invest more time in this kind of complete handoff experience. Two of the big things we're currently working on are restructuring of merge requests and suggested reviewers. The restructuring effort is a large undertaking to really address some of the organizational and information architecture issues of the merge request. You've seen some of that in the beautifying efforts that have happened already, and there's more to come as we continue to work in this. We're also focused on suggested reviewers as the applied ML group drives a solution there, and we understand how that fits into our current merge request experience and what the future might look like. In the area of review flow, we're also working on better rounding out reviews with the ability to add a comment and an approval when you submit your review, as well as taking away UI elements that bring people out of their flow. So that's everything we've got going on for code review currently and some details about attention requests and where we stand. If you've got any further questions, you can find us on Slack in the code review channel. And then you can also leave feedback in the attention request epic, which is linked in the slide deck. So thanks for taking the time to talk with us today, and let us know if you have any feedback.